President Uhuru Kenyatta is today expected to attend an interdenominational prayer service for the 47 people who died as a result of the Solai Dam Tragedy. Nakuru Governor Lee Kinyanjui says the president and his deputy will join other mourners at the Solai AIC Church for the service, expected to kick off anytime from now. Meanwhile, the owner of the farm in which the dam is situated maintains that his dams are fit and have all statutory approvals. Meanwhile, communities living in the Tana Delta downstream Kiambere Dam only have today and tomorrow to relocate from their homes. Kenya Electricity Generating Company KenGen warns that the country's major power dams, that's Kiambere and Masinga, are full and about to overflow, with Masinga expected to fill up by Friday this week, posing a threat to Kenyans living downstream. We're also following developments in the fight against corruption. Only yesterday, 4 former senior Nairobi City Council officials and a former permanent secretary began their 3-year jail sentences after they were convicted for their role in the 283 million shilling cemetery land scandal from 10 years ago. Although they still retain the right to appeal within the next 14 days, the conviction and subsequent jailing could just be one of the very few battles won on that front. This coming at a time when detectives are probing the alleged loss of close to 9 billion shillings at the NYS through fraudulent tendering. Now, seeing what has befallen the former city bosses, should the culprits in the NYS saga feel worried? Also happening today, Miguna returns to Kenya to push on with his fight to reclaim his Kenyan passport. It will be interesting to see how immigration officials handle the controversial lawyer, with the PS in charge having already declared that Miguna should apply officially for his Kenyan passport as well as his citizenship. Now already there's a lot of confusion and a lot of discussion online around the hashtag Bring Miguna Home. We'll be following that as well. Back to the top story. President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto are today expected to attend a joint burial service for 47 people who died last week when the Patel Dam burst in Solai, Nakuru County. On Tuesday, a meeting on burial preparations chaired by Rift Valley Regional Coordinator Mongo Chimwada had that some of the families had not agreed on plans for burial of their loved ones. At least 47 people were killed and more than 500 left homeless in that tragedy. A multi-agency team comprising Kenya Defence Forces soldiers, Kenya Red Cross Society, National Youth Service and Action Aid personnel has been actively involved in the search mission. We're now joined by our reporter Mercy Kandia, who's live at the Nakuru County Government Mortuary for the latest update. We're seeing live pictures there. Good morning, Mercy. Are these all the 47 bodies that are expected to be at the funeral service?
Indimuli, no, these are not all the 47 bodies that are expected to be at the interdenominational mass service expected to be presided over by President Uhuru and Deputy President William Ruto. This, Indimuli, are 30 bodies of the 47. We are told 17 others are at the county referral hospital in the county level 4 mortuary. 17 are there. Here in Indimuli we have 30 bodies, 16 of which sadly in Indimuli are belonging to children. And what we know so far in Indimuli is that the families of those who've lost their loved ones at the Solai Dam tragedy are waiting outside the public mortuary here in Nakuru. And what is currently happening here at the mortuary in Indimuli is that families are being called one after the other. They come inside the gate, and then what happens, if my cameraman could just show you those pictures, is that volunteers from the Kenya Red Cross team are here. So they get to walk in, are given a burial permit for an individual, for a family to take the body to be buried. But before they get out of the gate with that burial permit in Indimuli, a family member, 1 or 2, accompanied by volunteers from the Kenya Red Cross, have to look at and confirm that indeed the coffin that they will be taking out of this compound is indeed that of their loved one. It's a heartbreaking scene here in Indimuli. So that's what we know so far, is that 13 families are coming inside, confirming that it is indeed their loved one who is in that particular coffin. Then they're given the burial permit and then leave for the service that will be at Solai. However, they will not be individually transporting the bodies in Indimuli. We are told that this shall be done by the governments who volunteered to even pay for the funeral expenses. So they will be accompanied by security officials from the government both national and county from Nakuru to Solai. So that is what is happening currently. This same activity in Ndimuli is also being witnessed at the county level 4 hospital in Ndimuli.
Yes, very heartbreaking scenes there from the Nakuru County Government mortuary, and I believe it's the same happening at the level 4 mortuary in Nakuru as well. But we do understand that President Uhuru Kenyatta is supposed to attend that funeral service all the way in Solai, which is quite some distance from where you are. Do you have any indication when that service will be starting because the kind of process you've just described could take some time?
Indeed, in Ndimuli, what the communication that we had earlier from Nakuru County Government is that the mass would start at exactly 9 and is expected to end at 12. But I mean, as you mentioned, what you just mentioned is also an important procedure that cannot be ignored. And what we are seeing even from the families that are coming to look and identify their loved ones in Ndimuli, it's a process that is taking some time, and I mean, we can only imagine the importance, and you know, you cannot rush such a procedure as well. But also in Ndimuli, Solai is just about 40 minutes from where we are. So as soon as all the family members identify and confirm that these are indeed their family members who passed on, then they are taken to Solai for that mass service. And also we're told in Ndimuli is that different families are yet to decide on the different dates that they should be burying their loved ones. We're told some families have decided that they will be burying their loved ones today, while others are still planning on the logistics and the dates. So then from their families will now be allowed to take their bodies to as per their individual schedules in Ndimuli.
Yes, Mercy, before we let you go, of course, we're receiving some reports that some people claim that there are still missing persons. Can you confirm to us whether or not the search and recovery mission is still on? Because there was a report on Saturday that said the exercise had been called off. Again, another one on Monday that had been called off. What is the situation with regard to that?
Yes, in Ndimuli, what we know so far, remember by Sunday when we were doing our reports, is that government said they had officially called off the search and rescue efforts because they had said that their numbers had been reconciled and that the number of the dead was standing at 45. But by Monday, the body of about a 7 to 10-year-old boy was found about 5 kilometers from the Solai tragedy, that is in Nyandarua area, and this caused confusion and panic among the residents, saying that there could be more bodies buried. By Monday in Ndimuli, just for our viewers to be up to date, is that by Monday, that body that was found of a boy, now making that death toll to rise to 46. In Ndimuli, the residents that we talked to in Solai as of yesterday, as of Monday, they were saying that they could still be going to particular places and they could hear some smell, some stench, and for them that was already a matter of concern that there could be more bodies buried. A family in Ndimuli that we talked to on Monday are still searching for their daughter. So whether or not the government will officially, kickstart again the search and rescue effort, they have not communicated if that search and rescue effort will start. But if that happens, then we should be able to know. But remember that reconstruction and rebuilding of Solai has started. The headmaster of Solai Primary School that we talked to on Monday saying that if they only get enough desks, some of the classes are still standing, although three classes belonging to I think class 5 and class 6 had been totally destroyed. But they're saying that if they get enough resources, they should be able to open as soon as Monday, although that particular school, again, Solai, losing 13 pupils, and then some pupils there also losing either a relative, a neighbor, or a guardian. So you can imagine tragic times, heartbreaking times. But even as they try to rebuild, we could be able to know as time goes by if indeed that there are other bodies still missing. But from the mass service today, then we would be able to know if indeed the government would, the residents had even requested for sniffer dogs to be taken to that particular area to speed up and just for confirmation in Ndimuli that all the bodies had been found, that everyone had been accounted for.